Hello everybody, welcome to... I don't actually know what to call this yet. This is not going to be a new breaking character simply because I ran out of ideas for that. So instead of taking an idea and pushing it to its limits, I'm going to be taking a role or character archetype and showing how I would go about building it. This is also going to be formatted very differently from my usual videos. I'm trying something new here. Since these videos will be showing how I personally build a character over the course of a campaign, I'll be taking things step by step, one level at a time. This includes picking any spells I take as I level up. And speaking of spells, my first video in this new series will cover how I combine sword and sorcery with the GISH. With that said, let's start with ability scores. Using point buy will make Charisma and Constitution 15. You know Hexblade is going to be in here and we want to fight on the front lines. Next we'll make Strength 13 for multi-class requirements. We'll put the last 4 points into Dexterity so our dex saves don't completely suck. This will leave Wisdom and Intelligence at 8. We're here to fuck shit up, not be smart about it. For race, I sadly don't have the new Mordenkainen book with the reprinted races. But a friend of mine does. So we're going to use the new Azamar. We'll put a +1 into Strength, Constitution, and Charisma, and we'll get Celestial Resistance, Dark Vision of 60 feet, Healing Hands, and the Light Cantrip. I'm gonna skip languages, skills, and background stuff since that's all flavor. So, moving on to class, we're actually going to start with Paladin. This will give us Wisdom and Charisma saving throws, as well as proficiency with all weapons, armor, and shields. We'll also get Divine Sense and Lay on Hands to level 1. As for equipment, I'd be starting off with a longsword and shield, as well as a set of chainmail. Next we're going to multiclass to Hexblade Warlock, getting Hex Warrior and Hexblade's Curse. We'll start off with 2 cantrips and 2 spells. We'll take Eldritch Blast and Booming Blade, as well as Wrathful Smite from Hexblade and Hellish Rebuke from Warlock. Now we're going to multiclass to Divine Soul Sorcerer, getting Favored by the Gods and Divine Magic. We'll pick Good for our affinity, getting Cure Wounds. This is also the level where we'll get our Celestial Revelation, picking Radiant Consumption. We'll have 4 cantrips and 2 spells at this level. We'll take Sword Burst, Prestidigitation, Mage Hand, and Thaumaturgy for cantrips, and Guiding Bolt and Shield for spells. This is all just to get the basics established. Now to start shaping it. Our next step is Paladin level 2. We're here solely for Divine Smite, though we will take the Dueling Fighting Style for our longsword. At level 2 with a +3 Charisma, we'll be able to prepare 4 Paladin spells. We'll take Searing Smite, Thunderous Smite, Command, and Shield of Faith. Now we're going back to Warlock. At level 2 we'll get our Invocations, picking Agonizing Blast and Repelling Blast to start with. We'll take Unseen Servant to get some shenanigans going outside of combat. At level 3 we'll take Pact of the Blade as our Pact boon and replace Repelling Blast with Improved Pact Weapon. We'll also take Branding Smite for our new spell. That's all about those smites. At level 4 we'll finally get our first ability score improvement. 1 level before the rest of the party gets their second. We'll use it to take the Warcaster feat so we won't have to drop our shield to cast. We'll also be able to use Booming Blade for opportunity attacks now, which is basically a Diet Smite. We'll also take Green Flame Blade and Shatter for our new spells. At level 5 is where things start to come online, halfway through most campaigns. This one is meant for a more long-term campaign. We'll replace Agonizing Blast with Thirsting Blade for extra attack and take Eldritch Smite. By the way, you can use this with Divine Smite and a Smite spell and Booming Blade. I call this the Quadruple Giga. If you know, you know. We'll also take Spirit Shroud for our new spell. Now we're going back to Sorcerer, getting Font of Magic and Thunder Wave at level 2. At level 3 we'll get Meta Magic, taking Quicken Spell and Twin Spell. We'll take Spiritual Weapon for our new spell. This is where things start picking up for us. At level 4 we'll get an ability score improvement, which we'll use to take the Slasher feat to bump Strength. Yes, I know everyone else has capped their main ability score by now, but it's not the size of your modifier that matters. It's where you put it. Besides, we can now wear plate armor, which we'd better be able to afford by now, making us an absolute tank in close quarters while still doing damage that would make a paladin deflate with inadequacy. And with Slasher reducing the speed of whatever we're hitting, that poor son of a bitch can forget about getting away. Anyway, we'll take Lightning Lure and Mirror Image for our new spells. At level 5 we'll get Magical Guidance as well as the spell Spirit Guardians. It took us a while to get here, but we are now the most dangerous thing on the battlefield. Massive melee damage from Smites and Hexblade's Curse, 2 different kinds of persistent AoE damage, all while protected behind an AC of 20 that can jump to 25 and 97 hit points. And we're only applying more gas from here. At level 6 we'll get Empowered Healing and Mass Healing Word. Did I forget to mention we're also a healer? We're also a healer. At level 7 we'll take Death Ward. If your DM isn't trying to kill you yet, they will be pretty soon. At level 8 we'll get another ability score improvement, which we'll finally put into Charisma. Happy now? We'll also take Greater Invisibility. You know what's scarier than a magical can of whoop ass? A magical can of whoop ass you can't see coming. We also get to pick another Paladin spell, so we'll take Compelled Duel for giggles. A level 9 will take Cone of Cold, and level 10 will get another meta magic, which will be Empowered Spell. We'll also take Message and Mass Cure Wounds for spells. At level 11 we'll take Chain Lightning, and at level 12 we'll get one last ability score improvement, which we'll use to take the Tough Feat. Yes, I know I've committed a sin by not capping Charisma, but come on, I think we're doing fine. Finally, at level 13 we'll take Prismatic Spray. So what we're left with by the end is a walking engine of destruction. We have an AC of 20 that can jump to 25, and that's assuming we don't get any +1 or higher armor or shields. We have 193 HP with ways to heal ourselves, and can deal massive amounts of melee damage with Hexblade's Curse, Smites, and Radiant Consumption. We also have steady AoE damage with Spirit Guardians and Radiant Consumption, while also reducing the enemy speed so they can't get away. And with Quicken Spell we can still blast out high level spells for even more damage. And if you're still hung up over the uncapped Charisma, just look at the math. A level 20 Paladin with a +3 Greatsword and Great Weapon Master, a belt of Storm Giant Strength, a full power Divine Smite on a Fiend or Undead with Banishing Smite will do 2d6 plus 7d8 plus 5d10 plus 22 damage to a maximum of 140 damage. Meanwhile, this build with Booming Blade, Branding Smite, a full Divine Smite on a Fiend or Undead, and Eldritch Smite at 7th level will do 2d6 plus 18d8 plus 7 to a maximum of 163. Oh, what's that? A Paladin can do that twice in one turn? Okay then, drop Branding Smite and quicken cast Chain Lightning instead for another 8d10. To 4 different targets. Like I said, it's not the size of your modifier, it's where you put it. This build still has 3 weaknesses though. First, it takes an obscenely long time to come online, only doing so once most campaigns are reaching their endpoint. Second, doing all of this will burn through your resources like crazy. Be prepared to use the Coffee Lock strat. Third, negative wisdom and intelligence modifiers means it won't be too hard for your DM to take you out of the fight without killing you. And if, gods forbid, they throw an intellect devour at you, then your party is in for one hell of a fight once it hijacks your body. So there you have it, my version of the GISH. I've got ideas for a couple more archetypes I'd like to do, but let me know if there's anything you'd like to see. For now, thank you everybody so much for watching. If you'd like to support my channel, there's a link to my Patreon down in the description. Let me know what you thought of this video down in the comments. We hit 600 subscribers recently, so I'll see you all next week for another legendary build.